Hello and thanks for joining us for our mid-morning edition of Arirang News. I'm Mark Broom. Our top story this morning, we are getting news that 3 South Korean nationals have been shot dead in the Philippines. This is according to government officials in Seoul. We connect live to our Gwonswa at the Foreign Affairs Ministry. So, Soa, what are you hearing from officials there?
Mark, the Foreign Ministry says 2 South Korean men and 1 woman were found dead on Tuesday morning. Now, all 3 victims, believed to be between 40 to 60 years old, were killed with a gunshot to the head. Now, South Korea's embassy in the Philippines says it has been informed by local police that the victims were found at a sugarcane farm in the city of Bacolod on Tuesday morning. Now, Seoul's foreign ministry says one of the men had his legs tied together and the woman her wrists. Now, South Korean officials are currently on site and are expected to work closely with the Philippine authorities. So far, no clues on who committed the murders, and there is also no word on a possible motive. This is reportedly the 4th such incident this year and brings the number of Koreans murdered this year to 6. Now, as murders, robberies, and other crimes targeting South Korean nationals have been on the rise in the Philippines over the past number of years, South Korea dispatched its own permanent investigation team earlier this year to work in close cooperation with Philippine authorities. Now, I'll have more updates on this case as they come in. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you for that report. So do keep us updated on that developing story. Now, this just coming in, Korea's central bank has kept its key rate steady at 1.25%. This marks the 4th consecutive month that the Bank of Korea has held the rate unchanged after its surprise trim back in June. Now, this wait-and-see approach is seen as influenced by the government's recent fiscal plans, while it gauges the risk of mounting household debt, and the decision also comes amid growing expectations that the Federal Reserve will likely raise US rates by the end of this year, and we'll bring you more details during our next newscast at noon Korea time. Now, Korea's Incheon Coast Guard is set to hold a maritime firearms drill in waters off the western port city. The drill is part of a biannual maritime exercise which kicked off on Tuesday. More than 7 patrol ships and 130 crew members will take part in today's drill, which aims to strengthen salvage operations during disasters. Authorities say the 3-day drill will focus on reinforcing emergency response capabilities and equipment and operation abilities. Samsung Electronics has slashed its quarterly earnings estimates by 1/3. The tech giant's unprecedented decision to completely halt production of the fire-prone Galaxy Note 7 has dealt the company a huge blow. Kim Min-ji has the details.
It wasn't better than expected after all. Samsung Electronics revised its earnings guidance for the 3rd quarter to reflect losses from its ill-fated Galaxy Note 7. The tech giant expects an operating profit of 5.2 trillion won, or roughly $4.6 billion for the July to September period. That's down from the estimate of 6.9 billion released last week. Sales were also revised down to just under $42 billion. Based on the new estimate, Samsung's operating profit is down about 30% from a year ago, while sales are down over 9%. The revision comes just a day after the company announced that it will end production of the Note 7, in effect announcing it will discontinue the troubled flagship phablet. The decision came after reports of at least 9 replacement handsets catching fire, with incidents occurring mainly in the U.S. An investigation is underway to find the exact cause of the reported fires, and results could be out as early as this week.
The Note 7, they used the edge design for the first time, and the curve is a bit different from the S7 edge. So it leaves less space for components packed into the device. And I think that caused complications unknown.
The global recall itself is expected to cost the tech giant up to $2 billion, but damages could be even greater given the impact it may have on other Samsung products. Nomura says the ditching of the Note 7 could result in a loss in sales worth some $9.5 billion and over $5 billion in profit. Although that's a big loss for Samsung, the general consensus is that the company probably made the right decision. As Samsung is expected to launch the Galaxy S8 in February next year, the move is actually seen as a strategy to minimize the impact on the new phone, thus preventing the issue from dragging on to next year. Analysts say Samsung's focus will now be to use this as an opportunity to start fresh and work even harder on the quality and safety of its new models to come. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
So, from today, Samsung is offering refunds and exchanges to consumers in Korea who bought its troubled Galaxy Note 7 smartphone. If that's you, here's what you need to know. Telecom retailers nationwide will be providing relevant services until the end of the year. Note 7 users are not required to return free gifts that were bundled with the phone, like the Gear Fit 2 fitness band when they go to the stores. You can keep those. Customers can also change their telecom companies if you want to, while keeping your phone number. People opting for a replacement phone instead of a refund can either get another Samsung device or one from another brand. The campaign chairman of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign says the FBI is looking into allegations Russia hacked into his emails. John Podesta says the investigation is part of a wider probe regarding possible Russian ties linked to the leaking of emails from Clinton's senior campaign staff. He claims Russia is trying to influence the US presidential election in favor of Donald Trump. Podesta also said Trump's camp might have had advance knowledge that the leaks were in the pipeline. The whistleblowing website WikiLeaks has been releasing thousands of Podesta's emails since last Friday, with some containing material potentially damaging to Clinton's campaign. Russia has rejected US claims that it's behind the leaks. And that's all we have for now. Do stay tuned to Arirang TV and we'll be back with more news at noon Korea time. So until then, goodbye.